We are discussing about the geophysical methods for dam safety investigation. As we all know, the dams are the major investment and they help the population regarding the irrigation, power, and flood control. And most of the dams are very old, and we need to have a regular monitoring of those dams and then maintenance because they are very important sources for the economy and also for the power generation. So when it comes to the investigation of the dams, it is not like soil investigation because they doesn't have any kind of opportunities to drill or to do any kind of sample collection. So without any damage to the dams, we need to identify the faults and also we need to identify the things that are causing problem to the safety of the dams. So we'll discuss about some of the geophysical methods. Before that, if you imagine if there is a dam failure, then definitely that will cause a lot of loss to the economy and also to the life and property of the people. So what we do is in geophysical methods, we observe the physical properties in the subsurface. So different methods will be applicable for different physical properties of the dam. If we take the material strength or material conductivity and the seepage or the fluid movement and change in the density, then we go for different kinds of applications or different kinds of geophysical methods. So geophysical techniques are like non-destructive in nature. So we don't do any kind of damage to the dam, and we are using these techniques for the investigation or for regular monitoring of the dams, and also we detect the anomalous conditions. Those are a threat to the dams. So these geophysical methods are usually used for any kind of dam. That can be earthen dam or a masonry dam or a concrete dam, and the geophysical techniques are used to identify the leak path detection. So we see if there is a leak in the dam and under the dam or between the dam, the leak will cause the leakage of the water. And slowly these leaks, because of the weight of the water, these leaks become broad and they will definitely create a big issue in future. This can lead to the breakage of the dam. And also we see the erosion, internal erosion. Sometimes the leaks keep on leaking the water through the dam, and slowly, because of the erosion, the pipe is formed. Pipe is nothing but the widening of the leak, and once this happens, slowly the upper part of the dam gets breached. And the same geophysical techniques we can use to identify the sinkholes that are present in the dam and observing the spillway also, and then we can also look for the degradation of concrete in the dams. Now for identifying the cracks in the top of the dam, we can use the electrical resistivity, and to identify the water leaks we can use the electrical resistivity. And in the electrical resistivity we have self potential or the streaming potential survey. We can use it for identifying the water leaks, and also the seismic tomography method we can use for the degradation or the density loss, and also for the water leaks. And the ground penetrating radar we can use for identifying the cracks in any dams. So we'll discuss about electrical resistivity methods, streaming potential methods, seismic tomography, seismic refraction, ground penetrating radar, and MASW techniques in short, and how they are used for investigating the dam safety. So the first method we go for electrical resistivity imaging. So the results of this electrical survey that is carried out any dam will show this vertical section showing the electrical properties of the dam materials. So electric current will be passing into the, so we take it here somewhere, and then electrical current is passing along the preferential paths in most of the conductive materials such as the dam core, because this is composed of the fine grained material. This method will provide the picture of the internal resistivity distribution in the dam structure, and to identify the areas of water saturation in the dams, and thus identifying the zone of water accumulation and wetting. So this method is applicable in applied in two ways actually. One is the resistivity investigations are one-time survey that will detect spatially anomalous zones along the dam, and that can be used to investigate the suspected structural weakness in the dam. The other way is long-term resistivity monitoring. In this, we'll be using the seepage induced seasonal variation inside the embankment to detect the anomalies. But this is more importantly in time by studying the deviations from time variation pattern. So the second approach is more powerful because we are taking repetition of measurements that will provide additional evaluation possibilities for seepage analysis. The monitoring approach is somewhat, it depends on the installation of the equipment for long-term instruments also. So this is how we go for the electrical resistivity method. And when it comes to the streaming potential or the self potential, the streaming potential method consists of measuring the electrical potential by the flowing water within a structure. So here if you see, when the water is flowing down, there is a difference in the self potential. So this SP is measured by determining the voltage across the two electrodes like porous pods, which are non-polarizing electrodes that are connected to a voltmeter. And interpretation of this SP measurements will also infer about the seepage pattern and also the concentrated seepage flow from simple qualitative to more advanced numerical modeling approaches. Most common application of this self-potential study is to identify the dam zones. See here in the dam zone, in the dam body where seepage is taking place. So you see here in the red, the seepage here start is taking place here, and when we measure the SP starting here, and slowly you can see the red and this extension showing the seepage. So using the self potential method, we can find the seepage, and then we'll come for the seismic tomographic refraction method. So in this, we'll have the geophones placed on the dam or nearby location, and then we give the source, and then the seismograph will be recording all the data, and from there we can understand the issue. So this seismic refraction method is used in detecting the lateral seismic velocity or the layer thickness. So you see here the S velocity meters per second and it for the depth. So the seismic techniques are extremely useful since the seismic velocity is generally the most sensitive to slight changes in the density and also the saturation in the type of material that are being used in the construction of dams. So the compressional wave velocity is affected by many conditions. In compacted soil, the primary factors that affect the compressional wave velocity are the density, porosity, and saturation of the sediments. When it comes to the lithified materials like rock, the factors such as cementing, availability of the fractures, or alteration and stress will have a great effect on the velocity of the seismic waves. So in this figure, you can see the seismic tomography where you can see the seismic velocity and representing the bed tomography also. So this is how the seismic refraction tomography takes place. And after this, we have one more technique, seismic tomography. This seismic tomography is also a very good geophysical technique for taking the dam safety investigation. In this, we are providing some properties to the section. That means the results that are obtained from seismic tomography, we can understand that spillway section and we can understand the tomography of dam gallery to the dam crust, and this will also provide high resolution information on the material properties along the length of the dam. So tomography images can be analyzed, and if you look at the velocity changes within the concrete, then we will understand the weaker sections in the dam or the less dense concrete sections in the dam where the velocities are high. So this will be useful in identifying the crack damages or any kind of discontinuities in the dams. Next comes the GPR, that is ground penetrating radar. So GPR is also one non-destructive technique. This is used to identify the shallow cracks, cavities, and some of the voids in the dam body. So performing a GPR survey will also reveal the stratigraphy in the dam based on the contrast in the dielectric constant. So this method can be used to obtain the high resolution subsurface images that shows the buried objects, the cables, pipes and cavities, and also the rebar, topsoil, void and the bottom of the concrete. You can see it here. So this is how the GPR will be used for identifying the uh, fiber of dams all over the world. So these geophysical techniques will help because they are non-destructive in nature and they will give you more detailed and continuous data. Instead of drilling the dam, you can directly use these techniques and get all the information. So this is the main use of geophysical techniques for dam monitoring, and the benefits are we can detect the anomalous seepages in early before any bad happens, and also we can see the piping, the internal erosion, and also any other kind of degradation issues, and we can also check the exact location, the depth and the extent of the weakness zone in the dam, and we can plan for the rehabilitation or repair works. So these are also used for checking the effectiveness of the rehabilitation measure by conducting the pre and post rehabilitation investigations.